It's time for the greatest game of them all. It's time for the big event. The game is on the line. Only you and your spoon can save the day. You bring your team together, snap off the lid, and dig down deep in the thick, rich chocolate malt ice cream. As a crowd cheers, you sprint through spoonfuls of the best malt ever. Score! Do the dance. Do the dance. That's a little reading from one of my books, Population One. In fact, that's a little bit of an example of one of my favorite chapters of Population One, which is entitled "The Big Event," as on chapter number 48. So, I've been receiving many questions. Hey, Tyler, what's it like doing the audiobook? What's it like behind the scenes? Well, I will gladly tell you. See, I got some really good questions from you, the audience, and I will be sure to answer them in this video. But first of all, let me give you a little tour on how this works. So all you need is a lamp, so that you could turn on and off every time you read the book. I like to keep it on because that way, when it's really dark outside, I only have just the lamp, just so it can help me read the books. Kind of nice, keeping it dark while I only have a single light. And then the next thing is, that's really quite obvious, is the microphone, which you're going to need in order to record. So very important. And finally, this right here. See this little tennis racket thing? This is called a pop filter, and a pop filter is basically reducing the like little pop sounds. So when you do a t sound or a pop kind of thing too. So the pop filter kind of helps reduce that quite a bit too. So that's all you kind of need for this kind of recording session. And of course, one more thing is you gotta have the book with you too in order to read it. Currently, at the moment, I'm still working on the second book, Becoming One, and that one is actually taking a bit more time than the first book with Population One, because it's longer chapters and it's written differently, and that kind of poses sometimes a little bit of a challenge. And when I say challenge, I mean a good kind of challenge too, because I love a good challenge. It's always pretty fun. No matter what's small or big it is, I take it on. So without further ado, let's answer some few questions from the readers. So this one reads, how did you get through recording the audiobook? Now that's a very good question. How do I get through the recording of the audiobook? Well, it was quite amazing I got through it, in all honesty, especially with the first book. There were some bunch of touchy subjects here and there too that are just more personal, more serious. So the thing is, too, is that I don't really like to do the whole audiobook in the whole monotone or a certain attitude or tone with it and all that kind of stuff. When there are serious parts, you gotta make sure you tone it down a notch or anything like that too, to really get that feel of of a more of a touchy subject or concept. But what's more fun and exciting, then you get to turn up the notch, turn up the tone a little bit too, which makes it pretty fun. So how did I get through the recording? I would say that. How did I get through the recording? It's kind of like getting through writing the book in the first place. It's like it's to me. I just I don't really think about it too much. Think about what people would think afterwards. I just go out and just do it. Just do it. Kind of. Just get it over with, kind of thing too. I know it sounds pretty silly when I say just get it over with. It's like yeah, I'm done. I'm getting this done. But no, in the same sense, it's good to think that way too when you're getting stuff done and all that kind of stuff. Especially when you're doing something big such as an audiobook. I guess a lot of people kind of like the audiobooks too. I didn't really think that people would because I'm generally an average reader that traditionally opens the book and reads, but I didn't know too much about the audiobook stuff until we were reminded by popular demand. And I kind of think low when it comes to that. But at the same time, I will say when I was doing most of the recordings, there's this kind of sort of joy into reading it as well. Just make it fun. Make it really entertaining. For one thing, as a matter of fact, believe it or not, I used to actually no, my mom and my teachers and my classmates at the time when I was in fifth grade, they were like, "Hey, you should be like a stage performer or something." I think they kind of got that from the times I was kind of being more dramatic and out there and all that kind of stuff. Paint my face and body in different colors and all that kind of stuff, and doing all these different characters and being on this wild, crazy persona and all that kind of thing. I guess that's where I kind of got from. They were like, Tyler, why don't you be a stage performer and all that kind of thing? I was like, what's a stage performer? But yeah, it was kind of fun just doing this whole character persona, and I guess with the going through the audiobook, it's you do this kind of slightly exaggerated version of Tyler McNamer or something like that too. Well, while still making it exciting, and that's how I kind of find the fun in doing the project. What was the process like? Was it harder or easier than you thought it would be? The process to me was probably both actually too. It's really hard, but at the same time it's really easy. Easy as in like all you gotta do is just open a book and read the words and turn the pages. That's pretty easy. The main reason why it's so hard is because it gets exhausting. It really does. It gets pretty exhausting when I'm doing the books and all that kind of stuff too. Like even a single chapter can literally last about 3 hours or something like that too. The reason why it's 3 hours is because in the process, when you're reading and doing all these different lines and all that kind of thing, the main challenge, of course, is that you will stumble oftentimes too. So that's why I kind of reread the same sentence over 20 times until I get it just right. And that part to me is pretty hard when you have to do it like that, because I want to release the audiobook, but I want to make sure I do good. It's kind of like saying I want to make it to the finish line, but I want to make it to the finish line in first place. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When you have that one goal in mind too, then you'll be here right there at the finish line in first place. So that's the way I kind of like to do it. That's the way I want to do the process and make sure I get good. There was only a couple times where I was doing recording sessions and it was like a couple hours. But then I looked at the wavelengths, and the wavelengths looked way too noisy, unintentional. So that's why I got a little dial right here to turn down the volume kind of slightly like so. Am I being too noisy at the moment? Feel free to leave the comments down below, or being too quiet. It's just I've always go for improvements when it comes to just about anything. So it feels good to get the feedback, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the process and that kind of thing too, and it takes a while. It's not a one night thing to get through the whole book in one night. Otherwise, that'll be pretty crazy. It's kind of you'll be kind of exhausted and all that kind of thing too, and the delivery won't be as good, or I guess you can say too, or as authentic or anything like that too when you're reading the book. So yeah, that's what I would say for the process. What were some challenges to working on the audiobook? One of the main challenges to me is pronouncing words correctly. I used to joke around saying that English was my second language and autism was my first language. But that's just a joke, of course, too, and all that kind of thing. There were some challenging words that I forgot I written in there, so that's why I had to literally had to look it up online to see how it's pronounced properly and stuff. I will give myself some harsh criticism to that too, and I'll be one of the first to admit it. But to me, I always find it kind of funny for that kind of thing. That's not the main challenge for that kind of stuff, but I would say another challenge too is that take it from me is that I'm probably one of the most distracted people on the planet that I know of, personally, that I know is I'm pretty well distracted oftentimes too, because like, I know the work has to be done, but at the same time, those computer games are so much fun. I really would rather play on those first, play on computer games more often. That's true. You heard from me. I'm a computer player. I don't really say gamer that much. I like the term player, personally anyway too, because I think player just sounds cool, especially when you're player one. Get it? Yeah, get one. Population one, becoming one, player one. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, this is the first time for me, but maybe that could be a pretty good title for a next book. Why didn't I think of that sooner? So there you go. Population one, becoming one, player one. Yeah, imagine that. It's probably going to be like all about video games or computer games or something like that. But anyway, I'm not going to go over about that. I just thought that was pretty funny. But I think I'm just going to stick to two books. I feel like Population One and Becoming One are a good mix and that kind of stuff too. I call it the duology kind of thing too. It's like a trilogy is three, but a duology is two. So that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad to with Population One and Becoming One. One's blue and one's orange. It makes it pretty nice. Yeah, that kind of thing too. I don't really get bored when it comes to one of the challenges of doing the audiobook because I don't feel really quite bored with it. It just to me it's really quite fun to do that kind of that stuff. But yeah, it's true. There's always something going on with with the audiobook, and I don't feel ever too bored about it. So there's my answer. How did you push past those challenges? So how did I push past those challenges? Well, looking up the words online is one of them. Giving myself a reward after completing a chapter. A reward, as in like, what are you going to do afterwards? Are you going to have some chocolate? That's one of my favorite rewards too. I'm a big sucker for a sweet tooth when it comes to chocolate, that's one of my rewards is to have some chocolate. Or actually, another reward I would have is probably a nice iced vanilla latte. And that's what I kind of like to have for rewards on the next morning, that kind of thing too. After finishing a chapter, one thing probably a lot of folks would know is that I'm a big very big coffee drinker too. I feel like a reward involving coffee is quite a nice reward set for me too. That's how I was able to push those challenges as well, because it does get exhausting after the end of the day. But and that's why it's good to have a little reward afterwards. When you do that kind of stuff. So that's how I push past those challenges. Now, I don't believe in any time limits when it comes to doing the audiobook. To me, I just feel like if I can do at least one chapter a day, or maybe two or three, depending on how long the chapters are, then you can just do it as long as you can, even if it's past my bedtime or anything like that too, because that's how determined I can be, and for these kind of projects, and nothing's going to be slowing me down. What was your favorite chapter to work on? Oh my goodness, my favorite chapter to work on. That's an easy answer, and this is relating to Population One. My favorite chapter is to work on is most definitely, and I've already said it in the beginning of this video, but it's chapter 48, the big event. The big event. It's the longest chapter in the book, and to me it's just so exciting too, because I made such a humongous deal out of ice cream that I wanted to make it into literally a club, one of the biggest ice cream clubs ever, and I was just full of ambition of just to get it done, and to have people join in. I won't tell too much about afterwards because you'll be in for a twist after that concept. But my favorite chapter to work on is chapter 48, the big event. How do you feel now that it's done? Oh, I feel so relieved. Oh my goodness. The one thing that I want to do that I have not done yet, as of the recording of this video, is to go to the Seattle Aquarium. I haven't done that yet, and I think I need to get going on doing that as soon as I finish becoming one. I think that'll be a pretty sweet reward to go to the Seattle Aquarium because I love marine life. I've been living with it, surrounded by it. And, I used to go on sailing expeditions in high school. That's all about doing the scientific experiments in marine biology. So it was it's a lot of fun. I really love marine life, and that's why I want to go to the aquarium. But haven't done it yet. So I'll be sure to do that pretty soon as I get done with becoming one. That'd be pretty. That'd be kind of a pretty cool, encouragement of going to the aquarium. It's like get Tyler, get to the aquarium, and I think that'd be kind of fun. It's like support the idea of going to the aquarium or something like that too. It's like we gotta get him to the aquarium or something like that. I'm just thinking off scripts and all that kind of stuff. But something like that. I feel like that's just so humble for that kind of stuff too. And I'd be doing the same thing for other people too, especially when it's like especially when it comes to children with autism that want to learn how to celebrate, that kind of thing. Because I still do believe that celebration is very, very important, that kind of thing. And it's like we gotta get you to celebrate somehow. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, too crazy like confetti or anything like that. But small celebrations, like even going to the bookstore or to the library, would count as a celebration too. So, I always kind of like to have that encouragement of celebrating after doing something so big. Even in my last speaking engagement, it was all about the importance of celebration after a big victory, and how I am such a big supporter of that for that kind of areas as well. The aquarium. I'm coming for you. I'll be on my way. That will be my biggest reward. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the jellyfish and squid. And finally, here's the last question here. I won't take up any more of your time because looking at the time, oh my goodness, almost half an hour. Look at that. Hopefully you brought the popcorn and soda. So the last question here is, how can people listen to your new audiobook? So people can listen to my new audiobook by simply going to my website, autismworks.com. You can also find my book also on Amazon too. It's been a #1 bestseller in the topic of autism. So you can go over there to read and listen as well. So you can check them out at 2 places, which is in Amazon. All you got to do is type my name, Tyler McNamer, author of Population 1, Autism, Adversity, and the Will to Succeed. So you can do it on Amazon, and you can also visit at my website at www.autismworks.com, and you'll be able to find my book from there. So I will leave it up to you. Feel free to check it out. And I hope to see you on the next one. And I hope to hear from you in a sense, whenever when I read my book to you. So without further delay, thank you very much for watching. And remember, there are no limitations, only adjustments. Thank you very much. I'm Tyler McNamer. Peace out, y'all.